everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Dear White People, Volume 2, Chapter 9. It still, it still sounds like I'm supposed to say a title afterwards. It's weird. Anyway.
It's because you give the wrong inflection on Chapter 9. To end on Chapter 9.
Because every other TV show has something else after it. It's weird. Anyway.
You were trying so hard then.
It's, full spoilers for the episode, as per usual. It's the penultimate episode of the season, and much to Connor said it wouldn't happen, we left the campus. Immediately, road trip.
Yeah, which I actually am not a big fan of.
You not?
No, I feel like the show lost something for me by being away from the campus.
Okay.
I feel like all the little, it loses all the little just cross-cutting between characters here or there, just the small little moments that I feel often it makes the show feel connected.
See, for me, that works. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, largely because Sam's usually a part of that world, and she's so, her character's so quick to interact with everyone. She's so quick to either be fighting with people, siding with people, whatever, right? But then this happens, and all of a sudden, all that doesn't matter anymore. I'm going off to deal with the fact that I've lost my father. So the show kind of takes you on the same sort of journey as her in that sense.
Fair enough. Just didn't really work for me.
Now, I had a blast with the road trip stuff. Joelle and Coco were cracking me up. Everything to do with JoJo's bad driving and her being thankful she's alive was I thought was pretty amusing. All that was pretty good. It was a surprisingly funny episode at times, given that we were dealing with the fact that our father just died, and obviously it did get to an emotional tear-jerky moment eventually. We got there. There obviously there was a moment in the car where she's stop trying to entertain me, Coco, it's fine, and then she started crying almost immediately. It's like, I was supposed to call him last week, okay, entertain me, put the stupid song on. So much of that. It was actually one of the most straightforward episodes of the show, in that it was, quite clearly dealing with the grief. It was sort of remembering her father, feeling guilty about how she treated him, finding the letter in the book, and if I have a complaint about the episode, is I thought him sitting there speaking to her felt a little bit weird.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That was my only. I mean, I liked it in the idea of it because she wasn't talking to him. He was just kind of responding to things she was saying in the room. I like that concept of it. There was something really weird.
The way it played.
I guess it's just out of character for the show more than anything else. This moment.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So that'd be my one complaint. For the rest of it though, I was into the uncles. I could have a spin off with the uncles, quite frankly. With them bickering and arguing.
I'm with.
As Sam put it, they're on the same side, but they somehow find a way to argue about almost everything. I thought that was entertaining. So, all the family stuff I thought was good. The fact that the house was decorated for Christmas, I mean, obviously it's implied that it's too early, because she says, oh, you must have put this up after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still, probably December by now, right?
Yeah, but it's not like there was like Christmas stuff everywhere at the campus, right? We weren't quite...
No, so it must be, late November, early December.
Yeah.
Which I think, to me, is unbelievable, because everywhere decorates for Christmas by bloody Halloween these days.
That is a legitimate complaint. I'm going to say that the campus is too busy having fights to be decorating.
Plausible explanation.
That's my reasoning. But yeah, so I thought I'd give it an interesting tone as well, because even though they were there for a funeral, it kind of felt like in a movie when like characters would come home for Christmas. It kind of had that vibe to it, even though it wasn't really for that. And I gave it this mix of what was about this mix of emotions, because everyone's been friendly, they're laughing, they're cracking jokes. Sam's horrified to hear the story of how her mother and father first kissed, and the Shaquille O'Neal running gag about her having a crush on Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
So much so her dad put that in the letter, which she then read at the funeral. Now, I thought the emotional beats played well, and it was kind of nice because we've talked a lot about Sam and how she's kind of aggressive and how she does kind of she does jump into the ring, right? Maybe a bit too abruptly, and this was a really nice perspective of like Sam realizing that she's been this way with her father, maybe, and she wishes she wasn't, but then sort of finding out, I think from Coco of all people, that no, like Sam will do that, but that's because she's passionate. Like he saw it in a nice way. He contextualized it as, no, this is my daughter. This is how she is. She's got a fire in her, and I'm proud of that. warts and all. And I thought that was an interest. It was a nice way to take that and put a sweet perspective on it. And it's like, no, it's because it's very easy. And again, a lot of this show is about not just boiling people down to some broad strokes, right? And I feel like it's very easy to say, okay, she's always like this, and she is always like that. It's not an unjust thing to say, but to say, no, there's more to it than just this one setting on the dial.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So, I thought it was neat in that sense. But for the most part, it was just a sort of touching episode. It played into some things we've spoken about, her weirdness with her dad because he's white, and the flashback with the not holding his hand anymore, when she tells the others about how people at school or whatever thought he was her driver, and she never corrected them. Or it was a club. It was like a weekend club or something. She said
something like that.
Yeah. And Joe's reaction to that I thought was funny. Wait, they thought your white dad was your driver? What is this town? What's happening? As Coco's doing some voodoo makeup, skincare rituals.
Yeah. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I've got a giant red thing in my face here right now. Maybe I should be speaking to Coco. Get some advice.
Maybe you should.
Yeah. Get some of that burning cream on me, Coco.
Which is clearly not supposed to burn.
Which, by the way, so Coco says at one point, "Oh, I did a great platter shaped like an owl," right? And I thought, "Oh, okay, fair enough." I didn't think much of it. And then later on, we see this platter shaped like an owl. I thought it was going to be more impressive, but she literally just arranged the food so that there was like eyes. It was like something a 10-year-old would do.
I mean, it did look like an owl. I can't argue with that. I can see an owl in it.
Sure, it looked like an owl, but it was, I don't know. Like, I was expecting it was like more of a delicacy, and it was literally just, I'm just going to arrange the little sausages and the little things.
Yeah.
I'm
with you. I think food presentation and that's just kind of stupid. Just let me eat it.
So regardless of you having your misgivings about them leaving the campus and what that does to it, did you enjoy the actual journey, the story?
I thought it was okay. I feel like it was one of the least unique episodes of this show I've ever seen. Most episodes of this show, something I've never seen on TV before. It's doing its own thing. Whereas this, I've seen pretty much every show do this episode before. And it kind of loses some of its charm for that, especially when we're boiled down to just our three characters instead of having all the extra bits here or there.
Yeah, it's
a bit more fault what it's doing though.
It's a bit more conventional, but I think it's really well handled. Like it does everything in a very naturalistic way. I can't.
It's solid, yeah.
And I think there's a benefit to that. Like once in a while on this show to like say no, like. These people still have normal parts of their lives that are, because we're so used to seeing them constantly debating everything. Like it's like everything's a social issue. Everything's, and that's just kind of the context of the show and what's happening in it. It almost like it just helps to humanize some of the characters a little bit more by saying no. There is times where they have to come home and it's just family members bickering and it's
I get that, yeah.
And it's this and that, But hey, so no, I mean this is probably going to be one of the shorter conversations we've had on this show, just because it is such a straightforward episode. But
it is, and like I said, I feel like this is something most sitcoms especially do a lot of. They have like the quiet episode after someone's died, and this handles it perfectly well. Don't get me wrong, it did. I can't really complain at most of it, but I feel like. It's not giving me what I want out of this show. Where when I watch the show, I want what it does. It's unique spin on things, whereas this I didn't really get. So it was a little disappointing in that sense.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me too much. I'm not someone who. I mean, obviously, there's certain things I expect from certain shows, but typically when they step outside their comfort zone and do something else, I'm usually open to it. And if it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I don't think anything about this episode didn't land. Outside of the one weird ghost talking scene that I wasn't terribly fond of. Of course, in terms of plot details, her dad actually got his hands on those secret books, the secret history of Winchester.
Yes.
So we're going to, and she uses that because at the end, in fact, probably the biggest laugh I had in this episode is right at the end when she gets a call from Lionel and Troy. And Carson Daly, we lost him. He's not coming. But when they start it, he's like, "We've lost Carson Daly." And he's like, "Oh my God, he died too." It's like, no, he's just not coming to the campus. Like, oh, what happened?
What did you do?
Tell me now.
Yeah.
And Troy's like, thanks to you, Sam. We're going to have lunch with my dad. Might even tell him I love him. We'll see how lunch goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. One step at a time.
Yeah. So it's having an impact on those around her. I also really like the scene of everyone leaving as well, and Gabe kind of awkwardly try to help the best he can, and everyone sort of just tiptoeing around, being nice about it. But Sam realizes what she's found. At least she thinks she does. She's like, okay, maybe we can use this instead. Maybe this is something we can use as ammunition, as a talking point, whatever. And so that should be exciting. That should get.
I'm looking forward to seeing that in the last episode. That all being kind of brought up and seeing what it leaves the stage for the next season.
Yeah. So. No, it's good. Obviously, we've been building up to this debate.
Yeah.
Since episode 3 or 4 or something like that. It's
pretty early, yeah.
It was quite early, and I'm sure the social media stuff will probably come back in play. I'm sure we'll kind of have all this together. I think last season, I'm not expecting that next episode to have I'm sure there'll be someone standing at the title, but I don't think it'll be a character's episode, because this was Sam's episode.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Every episode up until now has been someone's episode. So.
Yeah. No, I don't know who you would do to have it be fair with the next one.
I guess to give you a happy, make it Troy and have it all revolve around Troy, just so you get a second Troy episode.
But it could happen.
I think they almost ballsier moved, and this is me pulling from Lost a little bit, but Lost season 2 finale, because each episode of Lost had flashbacks of one character. That was kind of its format. The season 2 finale, it was basically a new character. I mean, we'd seen him once before, a bunch of twice before, but it was a character we'd never expected to get flashbacks of.
Just an outside perspective.
Yeah, so it wouldn't shock me, if not, I mean, I don't necessarily think I'm going to see it next episode, but it wouldn't shock me if this show does that at some point, where we actually jump to someone who we don't know, and we start with them, and then we see how they interact. How do they connect with the rest of our characters, and how do they come into it? I could see them doing that at some point.
I don't see it being next episode, but I agree that could definitely happen at some point.
Yeah, that's a fun narrative device to use, I think.
Yeah,
is to bring in an outsider like that. So no, it's good stuff. But it's a really straightforward, simple episode. But the emotion lands. She blames her mother for not telling her about his second operation, and she gets upset. And there's some little tidbits there about her family, like how her family wouldn't talk to her for years after she got married. It took a long time to sort of mend those bridges. And you have to imagine maybe the mixed race was the reason for that. Maybe her family didn't approve.
I mean, that's the immediate assumption, because we're not told anything else, any other reason why. Yeah. So I mean, we have to kind of just go with that until we learn anything else.
Yeah, but no, the show, as per usual, handles everything very, very well. I mean, tactfully, yeah. It lets the moments breathe. And I know you had an acting complaint in the last episode. There was nothing in this, again, outside of the weird ghost talking scene.
Yeah, no, I had no problems with this one.
Yeah, that struck me off. So, hey, that is episode 9, so we will be back with the finale, hopefully soon. You may not have to wait a full week for the next one. We should have that up a little bit sooner. But this has been chapter 9 of season 2, so let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. You get bonuses over there. There's links to all of our shows, audio feeds, all the rest of it. Check out our weekly movie reviews on 121 and Flux. We do classic movie reviews. That's just me and Connor again. You can have a go and look at those on the YouTubes or on the audio feed. But that's us, so thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it, and we will see you next time.